Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
My baloney has a first name. It's OSCAR. My baloney has a second.
You're very low. Hold on. Let me double check my settings too while you fix your broken shit.
Because I was hearing so much background noise in my headphones, and so I thought.
You turned yourself down?
I turned myself down. Turned down for what?
Probably anything, honestly. I mean, probably like lunch, probably coffee.
You know, a couple of really delicious jelly beans. I mean, yeah, sure.
Probably Tinder.
No, that's turn left for what? Swipe left for what?
Swipe left for what? Man, that video for that song is amazing. That's the one where like they crash through the different levels of the apartment complex and they're all horny.
I don't remember that video. I'm not. You know, I can tell you that maybe it shows my age. I don't watch music videos like I used to. Like I remember music videos were like life. Like I soaked those in, and now unless my daughter's like, oh, you got to see the new 21 Pilots video or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really watch videos.
Oh, it totally is. Okay.
By the way, we started.
Oh yeah, we did actually.
We started, right?
Yeah, no, we're recording.
This all counts. I mean, I should have known, you son of a bitch. So, by the way, clever of you sneaking in the Oscar Mayer theme song there at the start, since we, recapping the Oscars. But so yeah, well played. But
you're welcome.
Yeah, I have a question about all this. Okay, alarms. I was thinking about this as I wake up because I wake up too damn early. I hate it. Are you an alarm person, or do you just wake up naturally?
Do I have a lot of money in this scenario?
Do you have a lot of
in this scenario? Do I have a lot of money?
No. This is you every day.
If I have to get up at a certain time, I need an alarm. If I don't have to wake up before 8-ish, I don't need an alarm.
8-ish.
Yeah. So basically, I need an alarm, or I'm not going to wake up.
Okay. Yeah, I have that horrible thing where whatever I set my alarm to, I will wake up like 10 to 15 minutes before my alarm, which pisses me off because then you tell yourself, okay, just set your alarm for 15 minutes later. But then you have that panic that you're like, today is going to be the one day where I sleep all the way into my alarm. Yeah,
but that usually happens to me when I'm anxious for something, like a new job or Disneyland, But then, I go to Disneyland, and then I have been at the job for a while, and I'm not anticipating going there very much because I don't like the place anymore. So I'm not really caring a whole lot about being on time.
We talked Office Space in a previous episode. I'm definitely feeling very Office Spacey right now. I'm feeling like doing that, I'm just not going to go into work today. Why? I don't know. What are they going to do?
Just cut down one wall of your cubicle and be like, I like Windows.
I like Windows. Okay, so anyways, back to alarms really quick. Have you seen, what about the elaborate alarms? Have you seen the alarms where it's like you got to pick up this little pistol thingy and shoot it at the target to turn off the alarm? Or I even saw one online where it looks like a little robot and it sits on your nightstand and it rolls off the desk and it starts running away like a Roomba, and you have to chase it and like step on it or kick it or whatever to get it to turn off.
Well, hopefully it leaves the room and then you're good to go. Just close the door.
You're like, it's someone else's problem now. We can train the thing to like just go into the kids' room.
The cats are chasing it. That'd be hilarious.
But it's like I definitely don't want to have to do like elaborate algebra equations to be able to turn off the goddamn alarm. But at the same time, I appreciate the creativity because the typical alarm goes off and rings a bell, I think, does get a little old. But I just wish I could sleep in till my alarm.
I just think the best alarm is when your smoke detector goes off like beep. You always wake up after the second beep.
Always goes on it always goes off at 2 a.m, though. That's the problem.
Well, of course, if that went off at 6 a.m, you'd still wake up. Beep.
And it never beeps when you sit there listening for it. So you're listening and you're listening. Nah, it's nothing. I'm ignoring. I'm just hearing things. Wait, what was that? Son of a bitch! I'm gonna put my head back.
Did I ever tell you the story about when I first bought this house and how many fire detectors were? Okay, so we bought the house and we had to take the popcorn ceilings off all the bedrooms, and we had just to do a lot of work. So I took all of the fire smoke detector things, set them all in a pile in the kitchen, which was still also a construction area. So 2-3 days into the construction, I hear this beep, and I look over and it's just a pile of them. It's not like they're in different rooms. There's 8 of them in a pile, and I'm like, oh, how do I do this? So I grabbed one.
In a pile?
Well, just because I took them all down and I wanted to keep them all in the same area so I don't lose them. So I got them. I grabbed one. Beep.
You just are really hoping that a fire starts in that one
you know what I did?
Small area.
I picked one up. I walked across the room, and if it didn't beep and I heard the beep come from the pile, I set that one down. I went and grabbed another and walked back across the room.
It's like you're solving some sort of math riddle equation.
Yes. If I had to do that every morning. How do you tell
which one of these is beeping?
Oh, my God. It was so hilarious. Evelyn's looking at me like, you're an idiot.
Well, you are. But have you ever noticed how those echo in such a way that you can never tell where it's coming from?
Yeah.
Like, how come they don't have a more centralized beep sound? It's always a sound where it could literally be upstairs, downstairs, west wing of the house, east wing of the house. It could be in the backyard. It could be the birds.
You have wings of your house?
You can't tell where it's coming from. Well, no. We're rich out here. California.
When you say wings, you're like, by wings, I mean like the back house where the chick that owns the house I'm renting lives. By the house across the street my parents own.
I literally just meant like buffalo wings. Yeah, I just meant like buffalo wings.
Oh, okay. I'm down. Okay. But by the way, my name's Chris.
Hey,
this is We Should Be Better at This.
Ooh, a new record. I think we got like 7 minutes in. That was pretty good.
6 minutes,
I'm Eric
33
Leckie.
seconds.
Pretty good. I'm Eric Leckie, also found at Sinatra's Rat Pack on Twitter, and this is We Should Be Better at This. And we got to update all our listeners on our Oscar kind of recap. So overall in our picks, I totaled it up. I got 6 correct, which is pretty pathetically low. But I'm only helped by the fact that you also were as equally pathetic and also got 6.
Okay, and I like that, but I have to ask a question because I didn't pay attention. Well, let me rephrase that. I was very inebriated during the watching of this, and I only got to keep track of very little. But I have 5 on mine, and I've got a whole bunch empty. So did I miss every other one?
Oh, yeah, you pretty much did. Yeah, I counted you as 6 total. But it's funny, I even had my wife fill out one, and she also got 6. So it's pretty much just we have a 666 ballot.
Oh, yeah, well.
But honestly, we frankly, you and I just did not pick Parasite enough because Parasite was the big winner of the day. I mean, obviously, it garnered, I think, a total of 6, if I'm not mistaken. I know it won 4 big ones, and I think it won 2 others, like smaller categories. Which is pretty big. It's a foreign film that just kind of completely swept the Oscars.
I have a question, and the reason I didn't vote for it is because I haven't seen it, so I wasn't taken back by how beautiful it was or anything like that. But I've been looking for it. Does it have subtitles?
Oh, yeah. It has subtitles.
Okay, good. Because all the versions I find don't, and I don't know that language. So it's very hard for me to watch it.
I'm having the same problem. The same problem because I know we're both trying to stream it the same way. So I'm having the same problem, and I've only been able to watch the first 30 minutes of it because that one I had subtitles on, and every time I go back and get a different stream, it does not have subtitles. So I'm still really anxious to watch it because so far what I've seen, it was really good, and people really talked about it as this wasn't the Academy, giving it to a foreign film to be all woke and progressive and everything. That they're saying that no, this was legitimately a really, really good film that deserved it, and so I definitely want to see it.
Yeah, no, I definitely am trying to see it actively pretty much every day. But with all that being said, I don't remember what I was going to say.
Hey, did you see? I always like to keep track of all of the really, really political speech, and for the most part, it was fine. Like I kind of thought Brad Pitt's stuff was funny, that he got political. Like if you're funny and political, I think it's cool. It's when they go up and they give that like impassioned like speech, like as if we're all there to listen to them talk whatever their politics is. That's the one that bothers me. And the people who won Best Documentary, we predicted it on our episode where we did our picks, where we said we're picking these guys because it sounds like they can get up and make a political speech. Well, they did, and they actually recited lines from the Communist Manifesto while up on stage, and that got a very big applause from the very progressive and liberal Hollywood audience.
Well, that's so much fun. Remember the reason? Okay, so that was from American Factory, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, no, when I heard them win, I'm like, oh, cool, the only one I saw. But I also voted for it because it said America. No, I'm just kidding.
Right, yeah. Well,
one thing that surprised...
And Joaquin had a weird speech, too. So I know that was kind of made big news.
Joaquin's kind of weird. Like, he had a documentary about becoming a rapper, and he's not a rapper.
He's not a rapper.
No, the one thing, that I hit was the sound editing for Ford versus Ferrari. And I'm pretty sure I changed your opinion on that one when we were talking about it all because So I was like, oh, that one worked out.
And
you did.
And what's
well.
funny is I actually this is a really fun Oscars for me because it's the first time that we all ever watched the Oscars completely as a family. We literally sat down in the living room, and both my daughters are in there, and my wife is in there, and we all sat and watched the Oscars, and we've never done that to an award show before. So it was really cool. And when that came up and that one won, I told them, I said, well, Chris had this theory on why it won, and he's kind of talked me over on it because it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You do sound, sound. That's so hard to do and to make it go in the flow of a movie. And so that, they obviously were thinking along the lines you were because it won.
Yeah, to make the sound of a feature film that's in a theater where a car sounds like it's passing you is so hard, especially when there's 75 speakers. So it is definitely something hard to do. The one thing that I think is funny is like you guys sat down and you all watched it, and we tried to do the same thing here. But I don't know if I'm ever going to get those 4 years back of watching that show. It was kind of long.
It was kind of long, and what's funny is, for all the jokes they made about the Irishman and how long the Irishman is, it's like, yeah, you guys have an award show that's equally as long, so you can kind of, and honestly, the Irishman is a little bit more entertaining than your award show at times. So
100%.
And then another highlight for me, I was thinking of you when it happened, but it was a highlight for me. So. They're doing their musical segment, and the curtains kind of come up, and you hear the doom, 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 and it's the start of the Eminem song. And I'm excited for it because, listen, like every white guy, who, I was happy to see a white rapper that shot to fame, so we have some legitimacy.
Oh yeah, but, it's the Messiah. It's Jesus.
He was the white messiah for rappers. We all thought it was going to be Vanilla Ice, and then he turned out to be quite lame. So, you hear Eminem, you're all excited and you're pumped, and then I started thinking, Weird Al needs to come out on stage and do Amish Paradise, right?
Like awesome.
It needs to happen. It needs to happen in the worst way, and I had so much faith that any moment here comes out on stage, Weird Al finishing off the Eminem song. But alas, it did not happen. I would have been happy with the long 3.5-hour runtime of the show if Weird Al made an appearance. I would have been fine with that.
I was okay with Eminem coming out, but you were disappointed at the middle-aged dad bod Eminem that came out and performed because if you notice, he's wearing a lot of black clothes and he's got a dad bod, I think now.
He's got a dad bod, but hey, you know what? It was just nice to kind of see him out there doing his thing and pumping up the crowd. There was also no host that we talked about that, but yet there was kind of a host because what happened at the very beginning? Chris Rock and Steve Martin, two people who have hosted before, comes out on stage and they do essentially a monologue. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you guys say that you had no host, but you literally had two people that, by the way, are fantastic hosts come out on stage and kind of cock tease us. They host teased us. And
did well.
Like, wait a minute, are these guys going to be the host?
Those guys, like together, that the chemistry those two had in that whole it wouldn't be a monologue, it'd be a duologue, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
But
Prologue.
sounds like you pooped. But yeah, no, they both. I thought it was really, really funny because I felt like they were poking fun at the Academy. Plus, they were poking fun at a lot of other things. So it was really, really cool to see both of them. I mean, old white dude, you know, and then a middle-aged black guy. Like that's telling right there how the industry's changed a lot. But they were really funny.
Yeah. Now, what was your biggest disappointment of the night? What was the one where you're like, oh, I was really rooting for this that didn't turn out?
I think I was, and this is gonna sound like I'm an 11-year-old girl, but Billie Eilish's performance when she just did the music for In Memoriam, which I thought was very touching and cool and nice and all, but I think they could have capitalized on using her a little bit better to bring in a younger audience, and they failed miserably.
You know what? That's actually a very good point. I didn't really think of it in those terms. You're right. They kind of didn't utilize how hot she is.
She just won like 8 Grammys.
Culture.
She won all the Grammys at the Grammy Awards, and she's going to be on the Oscars, the only other giant award show for the opposite of music, video. And they grab her, they use her, and she just plays, you know, whatever slow, boring song. Which again, In Memoriam, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but man, if they would have just given her like a 4 or 5 minute melody of the 3 or 4 songs that she won the Grammys for, the younger audience, like my daughter, who was disappointed about the show,
would have been more into it.
Yeah, and they'd be like, "Oh my god, I can't wait for next year." So they lost that opportunity.
You know what? That's actually an excellent point. You're right. It was kind of like they had someone interesting. They had someone that's hot in pop culture, and they kind of utilize them in a way where everyone's staring at the screen of the In Memoriam, not on the artist performing. So that's actually a pretty good point. Mine was. I was really rooting for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood to win more awards. It literally only won one, which was for Brad Pitt. Well deserved.
It won a couple other ones, didn't it?
Oh, I don't think so. I think it literally just won that one. And the other one, I was like, okay, if I'm rooting for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood to win the big one, Best Picture, and it had some momentum, so I thought it was really it could happen. But I thought, you know what, if it's not that, it's gonna be 1917, and which I thought was just so well done.
Yes.
And so I thought it was gonna be one of those two for sure. And when it was Parasite, I'm not disappointed. Like I said, everyone said it was good, but I was kind of like, man, I really wanted Tarantino to kind of get one, like get that one. He's won a writing Oscar, but he's never won like a Best Picture or Best Director. And so I would have loved for him to win that. And then I think the other one was, you and I had talked about it. There was a couple of shoe-in wins that were just absolute definites. And one of those was 1917 winning for Best Cinematography. Because the feat that was accomplished in that movie. Listen, it's not the first movie to try and do this one-take thing. Paths of Glory, speaking of someone who just died, Kirk Douglas in Paths of Glory in, I want to say 1960. There's a one shot of him walking through the trenches that's like seriously like a 6 or 7 minute straight shot that looks like it just came out of 1917. So I know it's not the first one that ever did it, but it did it on this grand scale, and it's just so impressive when you watch it. Huge.
If you can watch any of the behind the scenes filming of this, like not just the actors are sitting in there running in, or just the stunt doubles, the Brad Pitts running through these bomb fields. It's like the directors in the back of a truck strapped down. Bombs are going off early. They're going off by the guy driving the truck that's just trying not to crash, while the actor's trying to keep up with the truck while bombs are going around and people are running. I mean, it's insane, the cinematography into this. I mean, not even this bad, just the production level of it, that they won that. They should. I honestly think they should have won the Best Picture because of that. But again, I haven't seen Parasite, so I can't judge against that.
And in that scene that you're talking about, as he's running, he crashes into a couple of people and falls to the ground. That was not planned. The director told him, Sam Mendes told him, keep running no matter what, and get to this one point and then jump back in the pit. And so he when he did it, and Sam Mendes just loved the way that looked, because it made it seem so real. Like he trips and he falls to the ground. He gets back up and keeps running, and he falls again, and he actually collided with another person getting out of the thing. But if you think about it, that actually is the kind of thing that would have happened if you're running that way. What are the odds that you never fall down as bombs are going off?
100%.
People are running.
Yeah, no, I loved it. I thought 1917 did really well. The one thing I did want to say, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood did win a second award. They won Best Production Design, which which I remember hearing them win that, and I'm like, oh, Once Upon a Time won a couple awards, and maybe Eric's right about this. And then it was just Parasite. You couldn't get rid of it. It was just everywhere.
Yeah. Hey, so I got a question. I know we do a lot of car and freeway related stuff because we spend so much time on the road. But so as I'm driving around, it's a thought I've been having lately. Okay, do you think that the kind of car that you drive influences who you are and how you drive, or does the type of person you are influence the car that you drive in the first place? And I mean that by saying, like, an example of guys who drive Mustangs, because it's always guys who drive the newer Mustangs, like after like 1999 Mustang.
Yep.
They're always assholes. They always drive aggressively, and they're always assholes. And conversely, the person who drives the Prius is usually slow. They drive, exactly 58 miles an hour on the freeway, and they are slow and boring and horrible people. So, but it's kind of a chicken or the egg argument.
Yeah, no, that's what I was actually going to say. Like, oh, great, I have to pick the chicken or the egg right now, because that's basically what it is. I mean, it's hard. I would say that when you're younger in life, you drive the car that you have, and that's just how you drive. I think when you're older in life, your car kind of shows how people you drive. I want a big ass Cadillac.
Like you're not going to see you hardly ever see the person that's driving the the Nissans, CRX and lowered with all the stuff on it, and they're like just going 50 miles an hour, nice and safe and whatever. And conversely, you don't see the person in the Prius who's like up on two wheels, like passing someone on the shoulder either.
No, but you should, because those are fun to drive off road. Can you imagine going off road in a Prius? What are we gonna do?
Yeah, oh my God. You know what? Ooh, we put big tires on a Prius. Like, put big, like, truck tires and do off-roading in a Prius.
Oh my God, the computer would stop and be like, wait, 5 miles to the gallon? This isn't real.
Yeah,
we got to stop.
What is going on?
It just blows up.
What are we going to do in, like, 10 years when all of these Prius batteries are going to have to go to landfills? I think that's going to be an interesting one. All the hippy-dippy earth lovers who thought that they were, like, saving the environment, when they realize that, like, 40% of what's in that car is not recyclable, and it's all gonna like not be good for the planet.
Yeah, no, I think it's called South Dakota is what it's called.
It's where we just bury it in a mountain.
Yeah, let's just put it right in the brain of Washington. Oh wait, is that North Dakota?
I don't know. It's in one of those dumb states that had to do some gimmicky thing to get people to come to their state.
Yeah, something like that. Like California made Hollywood land. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But at least that turned into something.
It turned into Atlanta.
Hotland. So
what are we doing?
We got Valentine's Day coming up a couple weeks. In my opinion, it is the absolute worst holiday of the year. It's the one I hate the most. I think it's dumb. I think it's stupid. And that got me to thinking it's time for a little Rankum holiday edition. We're going to rank the worst holidays starting 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go first.
Yeah, because I didn't prepare.
Yeah, of course, but you'll think of it real quick. So my number one, of course, is Valentine's Day. I think it is pointless. I think it's a waste of time, and I think it's just a corporate-driven candy flower nonsense. Okay. Number 2, Groundhog's Day. Why the hell are we celebrating? Why the hell are we celebrating? I mean, listen, the movie was fantastic. Don't take that away from us. But why is the fact that in some stupid hick town of Pennsylvania, outside Pittsburgh, why is some dumb groundhog that no one cares about, if they seize the shadow and it means it's dumb. It's a dumb tradition that is on our calendar for no reason. I don't understand it. Number 3, I'm going to say President's Day. While I enjoy the kids getting the day off of school and getting a Monday off and all that, first of all, we don't want Mondays off. We want Fridays off, okay? That's first. So when you guys are making your holidays, can you kind of plan it for Fridays, not Mondays? That's part 1. Part 2, why the hell are we celebrating presidents? They work for us. We don't work for them. They're not kings. Why the hell are we celebrating presidents? What have they ever done that's impressive? So those are my 3 worst holidays.
Okay, well, I mean, that's a lot to take in. Let me unfold that a little bit. Valentine's Day, I agree with you. It is not necessarily my number 1, but it is in the top 3 because it's just ridiculous. It's a dumb reason to sell more chocolates and roses, and the retail world loves it. So, you know what? If you're dumb enough to go out and buy roses and watch them die in front of your wife's girlfriend's boyfriend's boyfriend, wife side pieces eyes, then go ahead and go out and buy those flowers. But I don't do that shit. And Evelyn's like, oh, I'd love to have them delivered one year. Yeah, sure, I'll deliver them in like, July. And I'm like, hey, happy 4th of July. Nobody buys flowers, so I'm just going to send them to you.
Price.
Yeah, I saved us $45.
45. I could tell you haven't bought flowers in a while.
I have not bought flowers.
I mean, just to get them delivered, to get like 4 flowers in like wrapped in wax paper delivered, you're at least spending $50.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'm the idiot that got married in February. So when I want to buy my wife something for an anniversary, I'm paying Valentine's Day prices because I'm a freaking idiot. So we actually just had our wedding anniversary, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh, I'll buy her some flowers, just for the hell of it." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, no, never mind."
That's you're an idiot. Why did you get married in February?
First of all, why did I get married? I mean, so there's that question.
True.
So I went. So in the same category as. Oh wait, you didn't finish.
I didn't finish. Let me finish my holidays.
On there.
Valentine's Day is definitely on there. I mean, New Year's Day. Really, do we care anymore? Like, let's just take.
No, we care about New Year's Eve.
Yeah, we care about
New Year's Eve.
So put on New Year's Eve. Give us New Year's Day for the hell of it, just like Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving Eve or the day after or whatever. Because you're too lazy for all us to come back in for one day of work. Well, let's just do that every year for New Year's and New Year's Day. But New Year's Eve should be the day we get off because it's gonna be rough.
It's gonna be rough.
And the
so you got Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve, and what was the other one?
Easter
Or New Year's Day.
And I know I'm going to hell for saying that, but it's just like Christmas. Nobody gives a fudge about the religious aspect anymore. It's about going for egg hunts and having barbecues and spending too much money on this and having, like. What the hell? Why do I have to go out and buy a round piece of chocolate, and then when it's Christmas time, I got to buy one that looks like a freaking tree?
Yes, you're right.
That's
actually a very good point. I mean, Easter is silly. That's actually, by the way, for all the people who are celebrating the resurrection of Jesus, it did not happen at that time of the year. It happened at a totally different time of the year. However, they wanted to tie it into an already existing pagan holiday, which is why it has to do with bunnies and all this other nonsense, which has nothing to do with it. So that time of the year is not symbolic or special in any way, but we do celebrate. So you're right. I think that one.
And it's on a Sunday, too. The reason it's on a Sunday is because we weren't going to be able to get it off of work. So religion's like, we'll just put it on our day. We'll put it on our day.
And like I said, everybody, make your holidays on Fridays. Everyone wants Fridays off. No one's ever like looking forward to that cool thing they're going to do on a Monday. No one. Ever.
No.
But speaking of Valentine's Day, which is coming up, there's a new phrase I heard, and I read an article about it. I wanted to bring it up. It's the act of valentining. Valentining is when you break up with someone just a week or so before Valentine's Day, whether you're too cheap or whatever. So I'm going to read this article from the Huffington Post.
Okay.
It says no breakup is ever well timed, but there's something particularly poor planned about doing it weeks before Valentine's Day. Ask Amy Long. Until recently, she was from Des Moines, Iowa, was on a sure thing in her year-long relationship, and her boyfriend fought, and they dumped each other right before Valentine's Day. She even brought up that he said, I'm going to take an Uber home, and she goes, I even wound up driving him home, even though he just broke up with me. So this woman who organizes this site called Valentining, she goes, let's see, it's a newfangled, slightly ridiculous dating trend like ghosting, mosting, orbiting, breadcrumbing. I only know like 2 of those. And it's this one's just tied into everyone's favorite holiday, Valentine's Day. So the act of valentining, and it got me thinking, have you ever valentined anyone? Have you ever been in a relationship where you're like, Valentine's Day's coming up, and I kind of don't feel like going through this nonsense, and you end the relationship based on the holiday?
Yes and no. First off, what the hell's breadcrumbing?
I don't know. I'm going to look that up while you tell me about how many girls you've dumped the day before Valentine's Day.
You look that up while I ramble on about dumb shit. No, have I ever broken up? I don't think I have. Have I ever been a little harder to reach or caused a fight or ghosted? Yeah, I've done that around Valentine's Day.
Ghosting is a legit thing. Like I think ghosting happens all the damn time. Happens all the time. But breadcrumbing. Breadcrumbing, as defined at least by the Urban Dictionary, is the act of sending out flirtatious but non-committal text messages, i.e. breadcrumbs, in order to lure in a sexual partner without actually putting much effort into it.
I thought that was seducing someone.
Yeah, but you're kind of doing this thing where you're not really actually committing to anything, but you're just giving them something to get them so that they come after you.
Yeah, so to chase the carrot a little bit more.
Chase the carrot. That's what I'm going to have my wife do later.
That's crazy that they have a reference called breadcrumbing. It's referencing two kids going into the forest and getting eaten by an old lady.
To be eaten by a lady, which is crazy.
We should have thought that through.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we wrap up this episode by doing an SMRT story?
I am too smart. I am too smart. SMRT. I mean SMART.
All right, Chris, this is SMRT. This is our favorite dumb people doing dumb things, usually in the state of Florida. However, not this time.
Oh, boo.
I know, right? So today's one is when robbing houses, make sure not to drop the list of the other houses that you plan on robbing. This is out of Nashville, Tennessee. It says authorities in Tennessee say they busted a well-organized burglar after he allegedly dropped a notebook during a break-in that contained a list of the other places he had been scouting on targeting. Robert Goddard, 49, is accused of smashing glass doors and breaking into Nashville area homes on January 29th. He stole TVs, a gun, according to court records. But prosecutors said he left something behind that allowed them to solve the case. A notebook that listed multiple addresses, including one for another home a few miles away that had been burglarized that same day. Goddard was caught on video kicking the back door in of another house the next day, the court records say. He was arrested, and of course, he was jailed. So this sounds very much like the Wet Bandits or Sticky Bandits of Home Alone fame, where they're literally like, remember at the end when the cops say, "Hey, thanks for leaving the water on in all these houses because now we know exactly every house
who it was." Yeah, totally. And I was thinking that, and the fact that they said they used the word "smashed windows." I was like, "Oh, is this guy Hulk right now? What's he doing?"
He's doing a Hulk smash. Oh, so here's the thing. I actually think this is exactly something I would do. I'm a list maker, and if I was going to start robbing houses, I would probably put some reconnaissance in. I would watch the homes and see when the people go to work and see what their habits are. I would probably keep some sort of a log. I would hope that I wouldn't have that log on my person as I enter their home, but I can kind of, in a way, I kind of almost appreciate this guy's efficiency.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure I'd be carrying the list like you said, but I would probably have one. It would probably honestly be on my phone, and I'd probably leave that at the site. But honestly, it wouldn't probably be. It'd be in the toilet. It'd be in the bathroom.
It'd be like a crossed off list. Yeah, it would be in the toilet. It'd be like step 1, rob house. Step 2, spend all the money.
It'd be just in my notes on my phone.
You'd be like live tweet. You know, I'm sure that happens too. I'll probably find a story of that. Like, there's got to be someone that was like live streaming it on Facebook, their robbery of someone's house or something.
Oh, do you remember that dude that live streamed killing those people on Twitter? That
yes,
the broadcaster. Yeah. Oh, that was nuts.
Yeah, that was pretty insane. But so they dropped the list, and here's the thing though too. Like he didn't. This all could be digital. Like, I don't know. What you kind of said. It was on your. If it's on your phone, you could always be like, you're never going to drop your phone and leave it there, most likely. But you carried in a piece of paper, which means I kind of like that this guy was old school. He was like, no, I'm going to write this on a yellow steno pad. I'm going to put like, I hope he had it like an outline where he had like little hyphens and.
Can you imagine? I just hope on the other side was his grocery list where it's like eggs, bread, bacon, gluten-free.
Which, by the way, is
tortillas.
What he was stealing from the houses.
Yeah, right.
He was just going shop. That's going to be his argument. No, I was just going shopping.
He's like, I needed eggs. I couldn't go to the store. They were closed. That would be funny, though.
I'm sure that it's going to be one of the shortest trials in history. It's like, well, we have you on video breaking windows, and we have a list that you left behind that pretty much acts as a confession. So how would you like to plead?
I'm sorry, sir. I wasn't breaking the windows. I was smashing them. Can you confirm what that means in the dictionary?
I was testing the resiliency of these windows. In a way, I'm kind of doing you a favor by testing it now.
Yes. So I wasn't breaking. I was smashing.
Smashing. He stands up in the court. Sir, I will plead guilty to everything, but please let the record state that I was clearly smashing the windows.
Do you ever hear guys go, "Oh, I smashed that girl"?
I didn't work out to get these huge pec muscles to only break into a place. I smashed into a place.
Yeah, I don't use doors. I walk through them.
I create my own doors.
All right, let's go.
Oh man. All right, let's go. So, hey, everybody, thank you for listening. I would love for you to check out some of our other podcasts on the This Is Funner network.
Yeah.
Converse with Us, which is another one that Chris is in with his lovely wife, Evelyn, is fantastic. And also, I only started listening, but I did listen to a little bit of it. The new Simpsons one that you do with Cassie is super fun, and I can't wait to be on an episode.
Yes.
And I love that you're showing your kids The Simpsons.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thisisfunner.com. Lots of cool stuff up there. Eric's got there's shortcuts to Eric's books up there. You can buy or, use them for firewood or something.
I don't care. After you've paid for them, I don't care.
Seriously, what's it matter? Also, there's a podcast coming out very soon that Eric's putting together. It's called Listen to This, or something along those lines. So look for that.
Listen to this, but there's an exclamation point at the end, so you really have to say, listen to this.
Yeah, but I can't right now because one of my kids is doing homework and it'll piss him off.
Oh, okay. Listen to this.
It'll be ASMR.
It's a music podcast talking about a theme in music that leads people down a path to explore very old music.
So it's all about
STDs,
and viral diseases.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
No, it's going to be really good.
Episode of just that.
It's going to be really good. So look out for that. And other than that, hit us up on Twitter. Chris_Donovan is my handle.
And Sinatra's Rat Pack is mine. I'm leaving for San Francisco in about 9 hours. So if I don't come back, it's because I got syphilis and died in that gross city.
All right. Well, when you fall asleep, make sure you're indoors.
Yes. and yeah, okay, I'll leave that one there. All right, everybody, have yourselves a good week, and we'll talk to you next time.
All right, man. Catch you later.
My baloney has a first name. It's OSCAR. My baloney has a second name. It's MAYER. Oh, I love to eat it every day. And if you ask me why, I'll say, 'cause Oscar Mayer has a way with BLOGNA.
Oscar Mayer, the first name in Bologna.
How's that?
Monetizing digital services since 2004. Boosting the entertainment industry by making digital content accessible for everyone. AWG, where innovation meets monetization.